it, Prabhuji, because you're always talking and so you tell us, Prabhuji, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll do Mataji, Kirtan and then Mangala.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupādāya Krishnaprestāya Bhūtale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namini Namo Vishnupādāya Krishnaprestāya Bhūtale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev नित्य गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, नित्य गौर हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was so sweet. Thank you.
क्यों माता जी? Shall do the Mangalachan praise.
Are we following you, Prabhuji, or are you saying by yourself?
I'll say by myself, Mataji.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वह्य भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। एते चांशकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे सुदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रूषामेषा पुराणार्को अधिनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रये। अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्तिदृढं पाण्डुषुरिष्णुषु त्वयि मेनन्यविषयमतिर्मदपदया सकृत् रतिमुद्वाहतरद्ध गङ्गेव गुणुदन्वति श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख वृष्ण वृषभावनिधृग्राजन्यवंशदहनानापवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुराट्य हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गीसङ्गस्य मज्जानां किमुताशशः पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गः तदाश्रयेषु महस्त्वयां यामुप्यां सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमाप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेनानमतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादाश्रयवीरितः सङ्गृणाति आकर्वातात् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीन् ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः हरे कृष्ण thank you so much for kindly waiting. Okay, so today the topic is instructions of Maharaj, so from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So just wanted to share this one today because of the current circumstances of the world and then how the kings should be, how the people should be like that. So just I wanted to share today. Okay, and please accept my humble obeisances, all the dear devotees, Pati Mataji and Pawan Prabhuji. Thank you for joining.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Pranam.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I shall share my screen. So Pritha Maharaj, so he is the one of the ideal king, and also he is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prithu. So he has appeared from the body of King Vena. Okay, so just a little bit of instruction, some little background before we going into the story of King Vena. So after his father Anga Maharaj, who is father of King Vena, so by looking at his son King Vena, his abominable activities, sinful activities, he has renounced his kingly life and he went to the forest. Okay, so after that, the sages, they need someone to rule the kingdom. So at the time, all the sages, they have, with the permission of Sunita. Sunita is the wife of Anga Maharaj and Vena is son of Anga. So they have installed Vena, though he was a sinful person, but still, for the sake of king, they have installed to make sure that there is one person from the dynasty. So Vena installed on the throne, King Vena stops religious rituals and the great sages speak to King Vena and the qualifications of a pious king. So they explains all of those things. And King Vena replies to the Brahmanas and King Vena condemned by the sages and Sunita. And then those sages, they have killed by their just saying uttering the sound, just like that, uttering the sound. With that sound itself, the Vena king was killed. And then later on, Sunita preserves the dead body of Vena. And later on, again, because there is no king again, there are so many plunderers and rogues are increasing in the kingdom. So again, the sages came to Sunita and asked if they can just do something with the King Vena's body. So they have churned the body of Vena from the thighs. So there, Bahuka, who is a Nishada king, he was born, but he doesn't follow the Vedic scriptures, and then he left to the forest. And later on, the sages, they have churned with a particular process on the shoulders of Vena. And then during that time, the Prithu Maharaj, he has appeared as in the pictures. So during that time, Brahma and all demigods, they have come there and they have given so many gifts to the Prithu Maharajas. Okay, so this is just to have a glimpse on the what Vena, how he was ruling. So though kings, those sages were giving good instructions to King Vena, his mood of replying here. So I'm going to read two translations, and then I request any other person to read next until 28th. So King Vena replied, "You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. Indeed, I think you are giving up your real husband who maintains you and are searching after some paramour to worship." Actually, the sages, they have given all the Vedic instructions. Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, like that. And then you have to maintain that similar relationship. You are a son of King Anga. So likewise, and here Vena is for that questions, for those instructions of sages, he is replying to the sages now. Those who are out of gross ignorance do not worship the king, who is actually the supreme personality of Godhead. Experience happiness neither in this world nor in the world after death. Okay, so can I request anyone to read the 25 to 28, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read that, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
You're so much devoted to the demigods, but who are they? Indeed, your affection for these demigods is exactly like the affection of an unchaste woman who neglects her married life and gives all attention to her paramour. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, the master of air, Yama, the superintendent of death, the sun god, the director of rainfall, Kuvera, the treasurer, the moon god, the predominating deity of the earth, Agni, the fire god, Varuna, the lord of waters, and all others who are great and competent to bestow benedictions or to curse, all abide in the body of the king. For this reason, the king is known as the reservoir of all demigods, who are simply parts and parcel of the king's body. King Vena continued, "For this reason, O Brahmanas, you should abandon your envy of me, and by your ritualistic activities, you should worship me and offer me all paraphernalia. If you are intelligent, you should know that there is no personality superior to me who can accept the first oblations of all sacrifices." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so this is the mood of King Vena. So how sinful he is. He is asking everyone to worship him. So this is his mood. So here, again, whenever he is saying, again, it is a Vedic injunctions. Though it is mentioned here, everything is Vedic injunction, which is not wrong, but he is in the false ego conception. So again, there is Kaddama Prajapati, he mentions, Yo Arka Indu Agni Indra Vayunam Yamadharma Prachetasam Rupani Sthana Adaste Tasmai Suklayate Namaha. And all the demigods, so the king act on behalf of all the demigods. So Tasmai Suklayate, he is also equal, as good as Vishnu. Tasmai Suklayate Namaha. So Kaddama Prajapati, he offers this shloka when he was offering his respects to Swayambhumanu. So, which is not wrong, but at the same time, he thinks his body itself is to be worshipped. He is not representing the Vishnu here. He wanted everything to take all credit for himself. Okay, so though here it is mentioned, it is not wrong, but at the same time, but he wanted to take personally credit. He is not representing the Vishnu here. Okay, so this is mood of King Vena. Now let us move back into the Prithu Maharaj. So later on, as King Prithu's appearance, so again there are we are going to read in the 21 chapter. So there is a few instructions. So King Prithu's appearance and coronation. When Prithu Maharaj has appeared from the body of King Vena, During that time, Archi and Prithu Maharaj both have appeared as a couple, born of the arms of Vena, and the goddess of fortune incarnated as Archi. Archi is the god; she is incarnation of goddess of fortune. And King Prithu is placed on the throne, and King Prithu speaks. Okay. And during that time, many of those people, they come here in front of Prithu and glorifies Prithu before he starts ruling itself. So the reciters continue to praise the king and King Prithu as a chastiser to the irreligious. King Prithu protector of the world. King Prithu to remain just like fire. King Prithu will respect all women. The king will perform 100 sacrifices. They're all foretelling everything here. So before actually Prithu Maharaj is going to do anything. But Prithu Maharaj, he was a bit not happy with the people because without carrying out those activities, he doesn't want to accept those statements. And if once it is performed, then only he will be happy. Likewise, though he says, but later on, those Vanda Magada Sutas. These are Vanda Magada Sutas. Those glorify the king. And they were encouraged by the sages and Brahmanas. So again, further, they are started glorifying more and more. And later on, Prithu Maharaj, after hearing those prayers, he asked them, what should I do now? And they have put their plea that at the moment there are not enough grains. And then please help us. And then later on, Prithu Maharaj understands by his mystic power, even the farmers are doing all the things, whatever is required. But Mother Earth is not giving any the production. So at that time, so this chapter is 17th chapter. The citizens suffer starvation. Earth flees from King Prithu, but the cow-shaped earth appeals to the king. And King Prithu replies to the earthly planet. Prithu Maharaj becomes like Yamaraja. The planet Earth speaks, the Lord in the form of original boar. And here in this circumstance, he also says he chastises Mother Earth. And then because though people are doing, but you are not yielding any production. And then she says that because people were all sinful, because your ancestors, that is Vena, he was so sinful, so I have hidden all the grains in me. Likewise, Mother Earth says. Okay, and also Prithu Maharaj also says one statement: if you do not give anything, and if you do not do, so at that time, Earth was running away in the form of a cow. Otherwise, I will kill. So, and then I will feed all my people in the form of a cow. There, Prabhupada has mentioned when the people does not have enough grains. So, and there was during the emergency situations, the king may take that particular actions. King may take particular actions, but when there is enough production, that is to kill the cow. But when there is enough production, one must protect the cow. And later in Mother Earth, she says how you can extract all the herbs from me. So bringing as Swayambhumanu as the calf, and then Mother Earth was very pleased with Swayambhumanu. She gives milk in the sense all the grains and everything, herbs and everything. Prithu Maharaj extracts all of them. So along with Prithu Maharaj, many other people like demons and pisachas, snakes and everything, the sages come, demigods come, everyone come, and they will milk from the cow whatever they needed. For example, even the pisachas, postmandas, they also extract the blood in the kapalas from the Mother Earth. And the snakes come and they will extract the poison. Likewise, everyone extracted whatever they have kept in front of mother cow, bringing their own calf, and then they have extracted whatever they wanted. So that is a small story of this Prithu Maharaj. He was angry at Earth. And later on, Prithu Maharaj milks the Earth planet. Okay, so this is again planet Earth tries to convince the king, grains being used by non-devotees. Earth fulfills the king's desire. The demigods milk nectar from the earth. Demons milk blood from the earth. Earth supplies everyone his food. Okay. And later on, King Prithu, he performs 100 horse sacrifices. So during that time, when he was trying to do, 100 sacrifice, then he will be eligible to become a king, Indra, king of Amaravati. So, but actually the current Indra, that is, he was envious towards Prithu Maharaj because he is completing 100 sacrifices. He was jealous. So he wanted to steal the horse during that horse sacrifice. So likewise, he has taken different kinds of sannyasi forms, and then he tried to stop that one. So here, Vishnu presented the sacrifice of King Prithu. King Prithu presented various gifts. Indra takes the sacrificial horse. Indra adopts several orders of sannyasa, so to cheat Prithu Maharaj, so to stop him performing the sacrifice. And Lord Brahma stops the sacrifice. So Lord Brahma during that time, because by looking Indra's abominable activities, he is going degraded, already degraded by telling lies or taking sannyas form and doing abominable activities. And Lord Brahma came to Prithu Maharaj and asked Prithu Maharaj, saying that, Prithu Maharaj, why don't you be satisfied with only 99 sacrifices? And then he gives the reason. Indra already fallen down by his actions. Okay, and then Vishnu also being there. So Prithu Maharaj, on the instruction of Lord Brahma, he says, all right, that's fine. And then he was fine with that one. So again, Brahma says that, so being a king, again, you have to rule the here earthly planet or Amaravati, being a demigod, one of the demigod. And so you're already devotee of the Vishnu. So likewise, actually he's incarnation, but and also devotee of the Lord. So and then further, Prithu Maharaj was satisfied with those instructions. He stopped the further 100 that horse sacrifice. During that time, Vishnu comes, and also Indra also come along with Vishnu. And at the time, Vishnu was also pleased with Prithu Maharaj's behavior. And later on the instruction of Vishnu, so Prithu Maharaj forgives Indra. He forgives Indra. Okay, so later on, but here during that time, it was time for Vishnu to depart. But because of Prithu Maharaj's behavior, he was still staying there. Even though he wanted to go, but he still stays back. He still stays back for more time, and with so much of love towards Prithu Maharaj. And Prithu Maharaj also, he was also very much inclined to the Lord with the loving exchanges. Okay, so and here, the Vishnu also gives some of the instructions. So the intelligent do not become addicted to the body. Devotees' Ming becomes broader and transparent. Lord Vishnu instructs in the King Prithu. Lord Vishnu, pleased with Prithu's character, King Prithu worshipped the Lord's lotus feet. And prayers offered by Maharaj Prithu, these are all glorious prayers. There are again 8 of the shlokas, and where he glorifies, and he also wanted to serve the lotus feet of the Lord all the time. And then hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee, and Lakshmi, the mother of, this is Yashaha Siva, Susrava Arisanghame Yadhrutayat Upasrunoti te Sakrad. Even the little bit one hears from the devotee's mouth, Smrutim Punar Vismruta Tatvatmanam Kuyoginamno Vitrati Alam Varaihi. So just by hearing from the devotees, one can re-establish his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make the life perfection. So there are very beautiful shlokas, and also Lakshmi, the mother of universe, Jagadhananyam Jagadisha Vaishisam. So there he glorifies, and he will be like competitive to the Mother Lakshmi when he was trying to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. Apyavayoho ekapadi spurdo kalihi nasyat kuttvacharana ekatanayoho. So, but only one Lord, but two people are competing to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. In such a way, Prithu very beautifully offers his prayers. And those bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, again, Manye Ghrimte Twam Jagatim Vimohinim Varam Runisheti Bhajanta Matayat. And he says, Vedas deals with only 3 material modes of nature. But my dear Lord, you spoke those things. I'm bewildered by those Vedic injunctions as well. Manye Ghirante Jagatam Vimohinim. Which again, it will bring the people, bringing them into, again, same, but Katam Punah Karma Karoti Mohitaha. They will bring, again, to the karmic activities itself. Okay, likewise, he was glorifying. What it means, he is not rejecting, but he is saying that I'm bewildered, my dear Lord, by just hearing what you have said in the Vedas. Okay, later on, so I was, because of those reasons, I wanted to surrender unto you. And yata charit balahitam pita swayam tata tvamivarhisanaha samihitum. Like a father who doesn't know, like a father, he gives everything to the child. Child doesn't know anything what he wanted, but father knows what to give. Likewise, my dear Lord, you give everything, whatever you think is good for me, you give that. So he asked the devotional service to the Lord. Okay, that chapter is 20th chapter. And later on, Prithu Maharaj gives, when he is ruling the kingdom between Ganga and Yamuna. So the kingdom was between Ganga river and Yamuna river, keeping his capital there. He is ruling the earth planet. So during that time, he was performing one of the yajnas here, and all the citizens welcome the king. Demigods follow in Prithu's footsteps, and King Prithu. So during that time, he initiates a great sacrifice, and he gives also Mahara very beautiful speech. This is what I wanted to just bring into the conversations or discussions today. Okay, so and again, when he was ruling, everyone was following Prithu Maharaj's instructions exactly as it is, except those two people. One is Brahmanas and pure Vaishnavas. They do not worry about those instructions. They're all beyond the jurisdiction of the injunctions of kingly order. Okay, so this one, the Prithu Maharaj, beautiful speech. So we are going to jump into that one. So here, this is one statement he says. Okay, it is mentioned here. So Maharaj Prithu was unrivaled king and possessed the scepter for ruling all the 7 islands on the surface of the globe. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders, but saintly persons, the Brahmanas, and the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaishnava. Except this, everyone were following. Okay, so that is the beautiful part. Of course, there is, but we just wanted to go to the, I think it may take some time. There are around 24 shlokas comes from Prithu Maharaj instructions. Okay, so here he is speaking among all the people. During that sacrifice, there are Pitrus and forefathers, demigods as well, assembled sages, and all his subjects as well. So he says, Sabhyaha sunata bhadrambhaha sadhavo ya iha gataha satsu jijnasupi dharmam avejyam swamanishitam. So here he says, Sabhyaha sunata bhadrambhaha. My dear people here, whoever is assembled here, sadhavo ya iha gataha, all the sadhus who have assembled in this sacrifice. Satsu jijnasupi dharmam. One must speak Jijnasubihi. Jijnasubihi is like a one who is inquisitive, dharmam, religious principles. Avejyam swamanishitam. He has to present those instructions. Whatever he wanted to speak, he must speak among the sadhus. Okay, that is the starting point here. We shall go a little bit quicker. Can I request any one volunteer devotee to read 4 translations, please? This translation, and then we shall quickly move. Anyone first
I
volunteer?
can do it, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
King Prithu said, O gentle members of the assembly, may all good fortune be upon you. May all of you great souls who have come to attend this meeting kindly hear my prayer attentively. A person who is actually inquisitive must present his decision before an assembly of noble souls. Do you want me to read the purport, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji, we
Okay,
just
thank
skip
you.
the purports, but we wanted to cover the verses today.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And then later on, Prithu Maharaj says, so I am a king and I have responsibility to rule the subjects. So I have got responsibility to establish Varnashrama Dharma. So aham danda dharvaraja prajanam iha yojitaha rakchita vrititaha sveshu setushu stapita pratak setushu. It is the Varnashrama Dharma, social orders. I have got that duty. Mataji, translation. Pati Mataji, would you like to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. King Prithu continued, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, I have been appointed the king of this planet, and I carry the scepter to rule the citizens, protect them from all danger, and give them employment according to their respective positions in the social order established by Vedic injunction.
And just two more shlokas, Mataji. So here further he says, so tastimeta anusthana jyanahuhu brahmavadinaha lokaha syuhu kamasandoha yastyatustiri dishtadruk. Okay, Mataji, would you like to read the translation again?
Yes, Prabhuji. Maharaja Prithu said, I think that upon the execution of my duties as king, I shall be able to achieve the desirable objectives described by experts in Vedic knowledge. This destination is certainly achieved by the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the seer of all destiny.
And then 24. So here he says that a king who is extracting the taxes from the people, but he does not train them in the Varnashrama Dharma, such a person, he eats the sin of all those people. And along with that, he will lose all his opulences, personal opulences, he will lose all his pious activities. Ya buddhret karam raja praja dharmeshu asikchayan prajanam samalam bhunte bhagam cha svam jahati saha. Mataji.
Any king who does not teach his citizens about their respective duties in terms of varna and ashrama, but who simply exacts tolls and taxes from them is liable to suffer for the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, the king, he will lose. So if he thinks that I'm so powerful, if he is not representing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if he is not protecting the people falling down from their position into the ignorance, if he is not protecting, then he is simply taking the sinful activities of all of his subjects. Like we see in the most of modern, the kings or ministers or presidents or anyone we think, if they are not protecting their citizens, then they will degrade from their position. They will lose their fortunes. And he also gives further. So next I will request another devotee to read next 4 translations while I go with the shloka. Tatpraja bhatrupindardham swardham eva anusuyavaha karta adhoksha diyaha kuruta adhoksha diyaha tarhime anugraha kurutaha. So he says that Prajabhatruhu Pindardham, and people, my dear subjects. So you have to carry out an activity for the sake of the king and also for your own sake, for your well-being and king's well-being. Swardham eva ansuyavaha kuruta adokshadiyaha, by Krishna consciousness. Adokshadiyaha, diya is intelligence or consciousness. Adokshija, Krishna. Tarhime anugraha kurutaha, then Supreme Lord will bless subjects as well as the king, both. Okay, can request any volunteer devotee to next one.
May I, Prabhuji?
Sita Sundari Mataji, yes, Mataji.
Yes. Okay. Prithu Maharaj continued, therefore, my dear citizens, for the welfare of your king after his death, You should execute your duties properly in terms of your position of varna and asrama, and should always think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within your hearts. By doing so, you will protect your own interest and you will bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after death.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Okay. And then further, Prithu Maharaj says that here, whoever is present here, Pitrus, Devas, and Rishis, everyone. So please, you also approve my instructions here. Whatever I am requesting, my plea, please approve it, because here, forefathers, Pitrus, Rishis, you will take a share 1/3, and also people who are carrying out, they will take, and who has given the instructions, he will take. So everyone equally share the that results of those activities. So yoyam tad anumodadvam pitru deva rishayo amalaha kattuhu syastuhu anujñatuhu tulyam yat preche tat phalam. Mataji, would you like to?
Yes. I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, and saintly persons to support my proposal. For after death and the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter.
Thank you, Mataji. Shall we move on? And then here further, Prithu Maharaj says that, so because of those reasons, so now, my dear subjects, so in this world, some people may take birth in the poor families, some are in the pious families, some are engaged in sinful activities like that. So, and also not only in this life, and also in the next life as well. So, why you think like that? Why it is happening? It is a big, gigantic mission process. So likewise, he is mentioning like a questioning to the people, like Asti yajna pati nama kesham chid arha sattamaha sa iha amutra cha lakshente josnavatyah kvachid bhuvaha. Okay, Mataji.
Yes. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Shastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be persons who are usually beautiful and powerful, both in this life and in the life after death? Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. So here this is a process by one's activities, whether he will go to the upper planetary systems or lower planetary systems are degraded. It is based on the karmana dhaiva netrena. Everything goes on karmana dhaiva netrena. So here, Maharaj is mentioning to all his subjects. And if it is not only his instructions, he also referred to the previous Mahajanas. So here he gives those names who has said like that and who has ruled their kingdom previously. So he says, Monoruttana padasya dravasyapi mahipatehe priyavratasya rajarshehe angasya asmad pituhu idrushanam atanyesham ajasya cha bhavasya cha prahaladasya bhaleshapi kutyamasti gadabruta. So mentioning all of those things and how they have believed in the Vedic injunctions and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mataji.
Yeah, this is confirmed not only by the evidence of the Vedas, but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruvo, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Anga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entities, exemplified by Maharaja Prahlad and Bali, all of whom are theists believing in the existence of Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Okay, so shall move on. So next, can I request other voluntary devotee to read next 4 translations? So here, Prithu Maharaj is mentioning that even though my father, like some of the people, they were bewildered, but still, whatever the great personalities I have mentioned, they have accepted and the supreme authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Likewise, here he mentions, Dauhitra dhindute mrityoho sochan dharma vimohitan vargasvarkapa varghanam prayena ekatmya hetuna. Prayena ekatmya hetuna. Okay, can I request anyone devotee for next portion of us, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Should I read Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Although abominable persons like my father Vena, the grandson of death personified, are bewildered on the path of religion, all the great personalities like those mentioned agree that in this world, the only bestower of the benedictions of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, or elevation to the heavenly planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, these are the personalities they have. This is Mahajana Yena Gataha Supanta. This is the path followed by the Mahajanas. And then further, he glorifies why one has to follow the path of the Mahajanas and why one has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, everyone will be purified when they're engaged in the devotional service, engaging in their carry out their swadharma or any materialistic activities, dharmically following, they will also be gradually purified. Okay, and also they will increase the Krishna consciousness. Okay, likewise, here Prithu Maharaj is mentioning, Yatpada Seva Virchihi Tapaspinam Ashesha Janmopatitam Malam Diyaha Sadhyakchinoti Anvaham Vedati Sati Yatapadangusta Vinishruta Sarit Yadapadangusta Vinishruta Sarit. So this is Ashesh Janmopatitam Malam Diyaha. The sinful activities accumulated from so many lifetimes, it will be gradually subsided, cleansed when he is engaged in the devotional service. Yat pada seva abhiruchihi tapasvinam. Okay, Mataji, translation.
By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, so this is a beautiful translation again. So that's why Ganges, it is coming from the spiritual world. It is not an ordinary, so it cleanses. But however, Krishna, in the beginning, Yatpat Sansaryaha Sota Munayaha Prasamayanaha Sadhya Punanti Upsrushtaha Swadhunyapo Anusevaya. There, Saunakaji sages, they mention addressing Sutta Goswami like that. My dear Sutta Goswami. So here, one can be freed from the contamination by taking bath. Swadhuni, Apu, Anusevaya, after taking bath. But when we come in contact with the devotees will purify us very quickly. Sadhya Punati, Upasprushtaha. So devotees' necessity is more. Of course, it is not diminishing Ganges, but here stressing the importance of the devotees. Okay, and the Ganges river cleans the sinful activities. So here, when one is engaged in the devotional service, automatically all that will be, and everyone is generally in this world, people, whatever the mentally problems or physical problems, anything he is going through, it is so subtle that all sinful activities, they will trigger in the mind in a subtle level, and then they will manifest in the physical level. That's why all our Acharya says the no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication, and also no greed for any unnecessary wealth. So likewise, the few rules are again chanting 16 rounds. This will keep one always protect from falling into the sinful activities and stop from performing any materialistic activities. So do everything in Krishna consciousness. They will always go upwards. It will not give any subtle reaction, so that which will not be manifested physically later on. So that's why Krishna consciousness, it needs to keep carry on. It is until the end of our life, this body. So while this process, the past life, whatever the sinful activities were performed before, they will be gradually nullified to the ashes. And while he is not creating any new materialistic activities. And this one, whenever we have taken the initiation from the spiritual master, during that time, spiritual master will take all his past karma. And then, so he's keeping the himself so that disciple would not suffer from the past reactions. Okay, that is the starting point from the initiation period. Okay, so we shall move to the next shloka. And here further he also mentions that once he engages in the spiritual devotional life, he does not come back to this material world again. This is Vinuddha Ashesha Manomalaha Puman Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan. Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan. He has accumulated all the knowledge, and he also detached from this materialistic activities. Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan. Yadangri Mule Krutaketanaha Punar Nasamsritim Klesha Vaham Prapadhyate. Nasamsritim. He does not come back to birth, old age. This is death cycle. Klesha Vaham. Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mahaprabhuji. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So threefold miseries like tapatrayas, adi daivik, adi bhautik, adi adhyatmik. Problems within the body, problems outside the body like family and relations, and other insects, animals, all those stuff. And problems, natural calamities. These are all tapatrayas. And when we take to shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, tapatri unmulanam, they will be rooted out. Okay. And then further, Prithu Maharaj, he says here, now, whenever one is performing this devotional service, Lord would accept all of these things. Likewise, some of these statements are mentioned here, and the Lord is worshipped with different kinds of paraphernalia. So, sorry. So here he is mentioning that so because of those reasons, you accept the devotional service. Tamev yoyam bhajitatmavrittibihi dharma vachah kai gunaihi swakarmabihi amayanah kam dugangri pankajam yatadikara vasitardha siddhayah. Okay, so here he mentions manaha vachah kaya gunaihi swakarmabihi. So you engage all your body, mind, words in the devotional service. Tameva yoyam bhajitatmavrittibihi. Prithu Maharaj, as a king, he is instructing his subjects. Engage your activities like this. Amayinaha kama dukangri pankajam. And yatadikara vasitardha siddhayah. You will achieve all your desires. Okay, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Prithu Maharaja advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Mataji. So here in the Bhagavatam, Jnane Prayas Udapasya Namantayeva Jivanti Shanmukritam Bhavadiyavartam. And people who have taken stopping all kinds of knowledge gaining process. Jnane Prayas Udapasya Namantayeva, just taking the devotional service. Then what happened? Jivanti Shanmukritam Bhavadiyavartam, hearing Krishna Katha in such a way who has molded their life. Then so there it is mentioned, though he is situated in his home and carrying out his activities, generally he does not have to go to a different secluded place and perform all those activities like meditation stuff. But hearing Krishna Katha, at that time it is mentioned, he will automatically Sthani Sitaha Suti Gatan Tanuvan Manobihi Ye Praiso Jitopyasi Taistrilokyam, he would conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is here Prithu Maharaj is mentioning by Mano Vachaha Kai Gunaihi Swakarma Bihi, while he is staying in the same ashrama. He does not have to leave his home. Okay, that is instruction. Okay, we shall move to the next shloka. And again from here, can I request for next 4 shlokas to another devotee, please? Here the Lord will accept those services through different kinds of paraphernalia. Likewise, this is the shloka. Asuviha aneka guno aguno advaraha pruthagvida dravya gunakriyoktibihi sampadhyate addhasaya linganamabihi vishuddha vijnana ganaha swarupataha. Can I request another devotee, please, for next 4 shlokas from here?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world. But although he is concentrated spiritual soul without material variety, for the benefit of the conditioned soul, he nevertheless accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals, and mantras, and are offered to the demigods under different names according to the interests and purposes of the performers. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Narada Muni says to Dhruv Maharaj, so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Mantrin Anena Devasya Pudya Dravya Mayim Buddha, Sapadyam Vividaihi Dravyaihi Deshakala Vibhagavet. Deshakala Vibhagavet. Based on time, place, and circumstances, you worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But do not try to work unnecessarily to gather all the paraphernalia. But as much as whatever is available, Saparyam Vividaihi Dravyaihi Deshakala Vibhagavat, based on time, place, and circumstances. So likewise, you just take worship of the Vasudeva with the mantra while performing Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Again, when you are performing any of these sacrifices and all, Krishna says, Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havid, Brahmagno, Brahmana Hutam, Brahmivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Everything is Brahma. A Brahma who is offering oblations, and here pouring the ghee, that is also Brahma. The fire itself is Brahma. So everything is Brahma. Then all his activities become the purified. Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Okay, so that is Krishna says. And then further, we shall move on to the next shloka as well, further 35. There are next 6-7 shlokas after that, around approximately. Here, he also mentions how the Lord has spread all of this cosmic manifestation and how he is going to appear, just like a fire is existing in the wood. Based on the wood, the fire would come out. Likewise, Lord is existing based in all the living entities. Again, based on the living entity, he will influence that person when he is performing any activities. Here it is mentioned, Pradhana Kalate Dharma Sangrehe Serira Yesha Pratipadya Chetanam Kriya Palatpena Vibhur Vibhavyate Yata Nalodharu Tad Gunatmakaha Yata Nalodharu Tad Gunatmakaha. Just like a analo, the fire is in the dharushu, in the wood, tad gunatmakaha, based on the quality of a wood. shape and quality. Likewise, Lord is also exhibits through different living entities, different consciousness because of his presence. Okay, likewise, we shall go and read the translation. Mataji, next.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervading, but he is also manifested in different types of bodies which arise from a combination of material nature, time, desire, and occupational duties. Thus, different types of consciousness develop just as fire, which is always basically the same, blazes in different ways according to the shape and dimension of the firewood. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji. Okay, and further, he is also mentioning whoever is already engaged in such kind of activities, I am offering my humble obeisances to all of those people or devotees. Likewise, next shloka. Aho mamami vitaranchanugraham harim gurum yajna bhujamadishwaram swadharma yogena yenti mamaka nirantaram kshoditale dhradavrataha. Nirantaram kshoditale dhradavrataha. Whoever is performing the devotional service with dhradavrata, I am offering my obeisances. Aho mamami vitarancha anugraham harim gurum yajna bhujamadishwaram. Yes, Mataji once more reading.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead is master and enjoyer of the result of all sacrifices, and he is the Supreme Spiritual Master as well. All of you citizens on the surface of the globe who have a relationship with me and are worshipping him, by dint of your occupational duties, are bestowing your mercy upon me. Therefore, O my citizen, I thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so here the king is thanking whoever is already engaging in that service, devotional service. He is instructing and also he is mentioning his thanks and respects to citizens. And further, he also mentions how powerful these devotees are. They are very tolerant and they have got austerities and penance as their wealth and they have got transcendent knowledge. They're always effulgent. So here, so one should not go to that, disturb those Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. Likewise, Priti Maharaj says, Majatu tejaha prabhaved maharuddibihi titikshaya tapasa vijhaya cha dedipyamani ajita devatanam kule swayam rajukula dvijanam. And devotees, titikshaya, tolerance, tapasa, by austerities and penances, vijhaya cha, transcendental knowledge, dedipyamani ajita devatanam. Dedipyamani, they're always glorified. Dedipyamani, Ajita Devatanam. Vaishnavas are the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kule Swayam Raj Kulad Vijanam. So he says here, one should not go and disturb them. Okay, Mataji, once more, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. The Brahmins and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristics, powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge, and education. By dint of all these spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material prowess before these two communities and should avoid offending them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Priti Maharaj says that one should avoid offending these devotees because the devotees and Brahmanas, they're all by their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, and knowledge and education. So this is beyond the strength, bodily or physical strength. That's why when the devotees are doing chanting and following all the rules and regulations and these principles, Vidhi Bhakti, without mixing with the non-devotees, one should not associate with the non-devotees. Otherwise, their power will gradually decrease. Asanga effect will fall on one person. Then he cannot understand transcendental knowledge. He cannot maintain the purity. Okay, so that is very, very essential. Tato dustanga musurja sattu sajjeta buddhiman. So Krishna says to Uddhava. So tato dustanga musurja sattu sajjeta buddhiman. One must always associate with the devotees, not with any materialistic people. Okay. And why here? By their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, and knowledge, they're always glorified. Okay, we shall move on to the next few more shlokas are there, and then we'll reflect with any questions. And here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he worshipped the Brahmanas, and so now devotees are engaged in the devotional service, and the Lord, he is always inclined towards the Vaishnavas. And how the Supreme Personality of Godhead has attained that position, he is mentioning here. Brahmanya Devah Purushaha Puratano Nityam Harihi Yat Charanabivandanan Avapa Lakshmim Anapayinim Yasho Jagat Pavitram cha Mahatamagranihi. Jagat Pavitram cha Mahatamagranihi. This is so beautiful shloka, very sweet one. Can I request any devotee to read the next 4 shlokas, please, from here?
Hare Krishna, may I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ancient eternal Godhead, who is foremost amongst all great personalities, obtained the opulence of a staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas.
Yes, so here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has got that position because he, by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So it again there in the Srimad Bhagavatam later, Yat Sevya Charana Padma Pavitrenu Sadhya Puna Sadhya Kshatakla Pratilabdha Seelam. Lord says personally to the 4 Kumaras, saying that, oh my dear Brahmanas, because I always Yat Sevya Charana Padma Pavitrenu Sadhya Kshatakla Pratilabdha Seelam. I have got that kind of position. I am being worshipped by everyone because I worship the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. So this is very beautiful, very sweet how the Lord is inclined. Like when Krishna was in the Dwaraka, in the Hastinapur, in the, what is that one? Indraprastha. During the Rajsui sacrifice, Krishna was washing the feet of all the, sages, Brahmanas, and then sprinkling water on top of his head. Here, Vaikuntha Lord is saying that statement to the Kumaras, 4 Kumaras. And here Prit Maharaj is also mentioning that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he got that position, worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas here. That's why he is always inclined to Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So he is always inclined because of their glories. Again, what are they? Titikshaya, tapasa, vijayata. Anyone can do this one. Anyone can perform. Anyone can have tolerance. Anyone can have tolerance. Tapasya, perform waking up early in the morning, perform those things, and Vidyata, transcendental knowledge, studying Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and also sitting with the devotees. Then he can gain that knowledge. Okay, and then further, he is also mentioning, and the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they're always dear to the Lord. Okay, likewise, he is saying in the 39th shloka here. Yatsevaya asheshu guhasayah swarat vipraprihat tushyati kamamishvaraha tadeva tad dharma paraihi vinitaihi sarvatmana brahmakulam nishevitam. Sarvatmana brahmakulam nishevitam. Again, if anyone is rendering some service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, the Lord will be pleased to those people who are serving to the Lord, serving to these Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Even the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, sometimes they may get angry, but still, if one who is with smiling words and accepting those words, thinking that Lord only speaking through them, Sambhodhayanti ahamiva aham upakrutastaihi, such kind of people are attracting the heart of the Lord. Aham upakrutastaihi, I am being attracted by those people, even though Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they are speaking harsh words, but these people are with smiling lips, sweetly taking those words, thinking that Sambhodhayanti ahamiva, Lord only speaking through the Vaishnavas, like that. Okay, so here we shall go to the translation, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is everlastingly independent and who exists in everyone's heart, is very pleased with those who follow in his footsteps and engage without reservation in the service of the descendants of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, for he is always dear to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and they are always dear to him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So again, ye brahmanan maidhya kshipatu archayantah tushyad pratah spita sudokshita padmavaktraha vanyonuraga kalayatmaja vadghunantah sambhodhayanti aham iva aham upakrutastaihi. So very beautiful that Lord says to Kumaras again, the same another shloka of Brahmanan. Ye brahmanan maidhya kshipatu archayantah tushyad pratah smita sudokshita padmavaktraha. Sudokshita Padmavaktraha. Very beautiful. Their Brahmanas are speaking like that. Then who is accepting those words? Then they are very dear to the Lord. They are attracting the heart of the Lord. So likewise as it is mentioned. They are always dear to him. Okay, so we shall move on to the next shloka as well. And then a few more shlokas. I think 3-4 shlokas here. And here, such kind of worship of these devotees, Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, it will be pleasing to the demigods as well. Okay, likewise, here Prithu Maharaj is mentioning. Pumam labeta anativela matmanaha prasidato atyanta samam swataha swayam yennitya sambhanta nishevaya tataha parim kimatrasti bukam havir bhujam. Okay, Mataji, once more.
Yes, thank you. By regular service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can clear the dirt from his heart and thus enjoy supreme peace and liberation from material attachment and be satisfied. In this world, there is no fruitive activity superior to serving the Brahmana class, for this can bring pleasure to the demigods for whom the many sacrifices are recommended. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So worshipping those devotees of the Lord, so it will be pleasing to the demigods as well. But this can bring pleasure to the demigods for whom the many sacrifices are recommended. That's why we always worship our spiritual master. But we treat spiritual master as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada has mentioned as good as. But spiritual master will not claim that he is the God himself. Okay, so there are the rules for himself as well. And the rules how devotees, disciples should treat his spiritual master and rules for spiritual master. Okay, so this is worshipping the Vaishnavas and spiritual masters. And then further going to the next shloka as well. So here, so Lord will be very pleased whenever he accepts the oblations through the mouths of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, then accepting the oblations through the fire face, through the face of the fire. So that is the shloka goes. Asnyachanantah kalutattva kovidaihi sraddhahotam yenmukha ijjanamabihi. Savai tata chetanaya bahishkrute hutashane paramhamsha paryuguhu. Paramhamsha paryuguhu. Okay, so can I request another devotee to read next 2 shlokas, please? 2 translations. Anyone, please? Yes, Mataji, please.
Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta, is through the fire sacrifice offered in the names of the different demigods, he does not take as much pleasure in eating through fire as he does in accepting offering through the mouths of learned sages and devotees. For them, he does not leave the association of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here again, the Prithu Maharaj saying that Lord, he would not leave the devotees association. Yatra mad bhakta yatra gayanti mad bhaktaha tata tishtami narada. So this is the Lord says So Lord, again, he says one of the statements to four Kumaras. Naham tadadmi yajamana havirvitane chotad bhutapulamadan pratubhukmukena तुष्टस्य मयि अभिहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः. So he says, तुष्टस्य मयि अभिहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः. I'm not take pleasure as much as accepting the food through the mouths of the Brahmanas. So he says that one. Even though I am the Lord of Naham Tadadmi Yajaman Havirvithane Chotad Gutapulamadan Pradabhukmukena Tustasya Maya Abhitaihi Nijakarmapakaihi. I would not take much pleasure than accepting through the mouths of the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. He glorifies. He is speaking to Lord directly, says the four Kumaras. That is how, again, here, Prithu Maharaj is reflecting those same statements here about how glorious the Lord here. Okay, and then further there are only 42, 43, and 44. Okay, so one more shloka, 42, we shall move here. And here, by rendering service unto the Supreme Lord, what happens? So likewise, perfection of human life. So that is, at maintaining that Brahmanical life, it is the ultimate thing. So here it says, Yad Brahma Nityam Viridham Sanatanam Shraddha Tapo Mangala Mauna Samyamaihi Samadhina Bibrati Harda Drushtaye Yetreda Madarsha Ivava Bhasate. So he mentions. Okay, Mataji, would you like to read this translation, Mataji, please?
Yes, Prabhu. May I, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. In Brahmanical culture, a Brahmana's transcendental position is eternally maintained because the injunction of the Vedas are accepted with faith, austerity, scriptural conclusion, full sense on mind control, and meditation. In this way, the real goal of life is illuminated just as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the perfection of human life. So this is in Napasyami Param Bhutam Akattuhu Samadarshinath. So the topmost position is the devotee of the Lord, Adogda Dharma Matmanaha, one who has Mai Arpita Ashesha Atma Ardha Karma, everything all the time, Nirantaraha, Nityam, all the time. Such kind of Napasyami Param Bhutam Akattuhu Samadarshina. Again, from the Brahmanical perspective, a Brahmana, out of Varnashrama Dharma, Brahmana is the top, out of those who studies the Vedas, out of who understands the Vedas, out of those who can explain the Vedas, out of those who actually following the Vedas, out of those who has renounced the fruitive activities of his activities, out of those who is completely surrendered himself onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a devotee of the Lord. He is the topmost. And that in that position, so one's face fully reflected in a clear mirror. Okay, this is the Pratibuddha Vastuhu. Pratibuddha, it is the ultimate. Swarupena Mayopetam Pasyan Swarajyam Ruchyati, in his own form, spiritual form. Okay, it will be maintained eternally later on. So here mentioned here, this is the real goal of life is illuminated, and just as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. Okay, we shall move on to that one. So here, Prithu Maharaj is giving these instructions to his subjects when we are comparing to the modern leaders of the society. Okay, there are two more shlokas for another 43. Okay, 43 shloka here. So here, now here, Prithu Maharaj is concluding that what he wanted to do, he wanted to keep the dust of those feet of the Brahmanas on top of his head, and then because of that, he will be purified. Likewise, he is mentioning. So that is the shloka. Tesha maham pada sarojharenum aryavaheyadi kirita mayuhu Yam nichita bibrata asu papam nasyati amam sarvaguna bhajanti. Nasyati amam sarvaguna bhajanti. Okay, so here, Tesha Mahampada Sarojarenum. I wanted to keep this dust of those Vaishnavas. Arya Vaheyadi Kiritamayo, keep on top of my the crown. Okay, likewise, Prithvi Maharaj is mentioning. Okay, can you, Meena Mataji wanted to read?
Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna. Oh, respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessing of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. He who can carry such dust on his head is very soon relieved of all the reaction which arise from sinful life, and eventually he develop all good and desirable qualities. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, he's mentioning, he who can carry the dust on his head very soon relieved of all reactions which arise from sinful life. Otherwise, Jivanapi Mruto Hisaha. There, Savanakadi sages, they mention if a person, if he does not taking the dust off a feet of devotees, then he is like a Jivanapi Mruto Hisaha. Even the living, he is like a dead body. And eventually he develops all good and desirable qualities. Okay, so because of those reasons, and he is mentioning, I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. Okay, this is the mood of Prithvi Maharaj. Okay, he established that statement, how he wanted to be. And finally, one more shloka comes here. And by devotees, they are full of all transcendental qualities. And he would attain the perfection of human life and also the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is seeking the blessings of such kind of all the devotees here, seeking blessings of all those devotees who have been engaged in the devotional service to the Lord. Okay, that is this shloka. With this one, Prithvi Maharaj is concluding here. Gunayanam sila dhanam kritajnyam vruddhashriyam savrunatesu samrunatenu sampadaha prasidatam brahmakulam gavam cha janardanaha sa anucharasya mahyam. Janardanaha sa anucharasya mahyam. Everyone will be pleased with me. Likewise, Prithu Maharaj is begging among all his subjects, and forefathers are there, demigods are there, everyone are there, but he is seeking the blessings of all these Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Okay, like that. They all wanted to be pleased with Prithu Maharaj so that he can just rule his subject very nicely. Okay, can I request Gauranga Mataji to read the translation, Mataji? The last one, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Whatever acquires the birth's medical qualification, whose only wealth is a good behavior, who is grateful, and who takes shelter of experienced person, gets all the opulence of the world. If therefore wish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his associated, the place with the Brahmana class, which is the cows, and with me. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here Prithu Maharaj is seeking the favor of those devotees and Brahmanas, cows, and Supreme Personality of God, everyone's blessing, so that he can rule the kingdom. Okay, this is the mood of a king. This is called Aryas or Rajarshis. So he is begging, he has given instructions. He also mentioned what is the position of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, what his subjects do, for what purpose. And here, Prajaha Bhattuhu, for the sake of Prajabhattuhu, for the king, and as well as Swadhameva, Anusuyavaha, for their personal benefit. So without any enviousness or jealousness, engage themselves in the devotional service of the Lord, so that everyone's desires will be fulfilled in this life and also the next life. Okay, so in such a way, Prithu Maharaj giving these instructions, these are very glorious. It took more of time, just going in a fast track. I stop there. I thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly hearing. I request if devotees have got any questions or you wanted to reflect anything, comment anything, kindly ask questions and kindly share, kindly reflect. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, Patya Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for that excellent class. As always, I come away with more information than before when I joined your classes. Prabhuji, you started with the description of King Vena, and that was quite a relevant topic for our current times because of what the rulers are like, or one particular ruler. And he shows the qualities exactly of Vena, as corrupt, arrogant, sinful, every quality that one can think of. And then obviously what a king should be like, which is Prithu Maharaj. So, and I read somewhere Prabhupada always used to say, people follow the leaders. And when we see the state of society today, I think that probably is exactly a reflection of how the citizens are. So much criminal activity, shoplifting, stabbing, and so on. So it's absolutely right what a king and his qualities should be like, and how important Varnashram Dharma is. And my reflection was, since the only kings that one can remember who were that impeccable in recent times, well, not recent, but one can, from our Shastras we learn, is Raja Ram and Maharaj Yudhishthir. And I can't think of anybody else since then who demonstrated those qualities as one should expect from a king, because the king is supposed to have a divine right generally, and even the Christians believe that the king has a divine right, but the kings of today don't behave like that at all, and we see that all the time. So those were my reflections, and I think this is such a good comparison that you drew today. What Venu was like, and that is what the leaders are like today, and what they should be like. So thank you, Prabhuji. I found it really useful.
Thank you, Mataji. So Prabhupada has commented and spoken on these things. Like whoever is a politician, he must take these Prithu's instructions. So it's very
Following
good.
from that, Prabhuji, can I ask a probably impertinent question? Should we be voting then at all? Because they give us this vote to make us think we are in a democratic country. I mean, we know that democracy doesn't work. But should we be even voting? Because what really we're doing is you're putting people in power who really have no qualifications to lead us, and mostly they're cheats and thieves. So should we be exercising that judgment?
So
Thank you.
Prabhupada said, unless if he is a devotee, do not vote to either one. So if you vote one person, if he is a rascal, again you may reject him. And other person, if you keep on voting and rejecting, that means you would be confused by your votes itself. Do not vote if he is not a Krishna devotee.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That is really helpful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, any other questions, comments, reflections, dear devotees? Jai Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, I think it was such an excellent class. There were so many beautiful points that were covered, and so much to learn from them. And I'm so glad you covered this. And we've talked recently as well that how the kings in those times used to be like Raj Rishis, where they would managed their kingdom very well. And it wasn't just a kingdom, it was the whole world at that time. It wasn't just one country, it was the whole world. How they used to manage that. And equally, they would guide their people spiritually, they would motivate them and uplift them as well. So side by side, they would do all that. But nowadays, we see all that lacking, and that's why I think some like Modi ji is working hard to bring Bhagavad Gita in schools. We saw how Nelson Mandela read Bhagavad Gita in the prison, and how when he came out, he was full of forgiveness. So those are the qualities one should be working towards, tolerance, forgiveness, all those kind of things. But it looks like if the leaders are doing all this, then like common men follow them, like Mataji just said. So yeah, but no, overall, I even like the last few, though in fact all of them were so good, but there's so much to learn from all those teachings. Thank you, Prabhuji. Some of them really resonated with me, but yeah, thank you. Overall, it was such a pleasant class. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions, devotees? Gayatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
It doesn't
it's
really matter.
such a wonderful class, and you covered this because we are so fortunate to hear about Prithu Maharaj in details today. Because only we know that he was like, is this the same? I am so ignorant that I don't know exactly. It's just I'm asking that is that this is same Prithu Raj who had 9 qualities the steps of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padoshevanam.
That is Prahlad Maharaj.
No, he was
That is Ambrish
Ambarish.
Maharaj.
Ambarish.
Ambrish Maharaj.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, so I mixed up with Prithu Maharaj. But it's really very good topics that we came to know everything. And already Javid Mataji and Pati Mataji also mentioned that nowadays it's not like before. Before it was Rajorshi, that is why Raja and Rishi. So both qualities they possessed. But nowadays, how they will like take from the like cheat with the people and with the country. So by the name of democracy, by the name of religion, what they are doing. So pathetic. We are in Kali Yuga, so it will be much more worse day by day. So only we should take the shelter of like Krishna consciousness. That is the thing. And I was really laughing when you mentioned that if the king or someone is not from Krishna consciousness, we should not vote. But we are going to vote. Maybe the next month the vote it started from the council, or but we have to vote. So how we can avoid?
The Prabhupada says, if he is not a devotee of Krishna, then do not vote. Because if you vote today, if he does something that indirectly you have supported it, you will share some of his.
Exactly. That is what we are doing. We are obliged also. I don't know here what is the regulations, but in Belgium, if we don't vote, we have to pay penalty. We like citizen receive the penalty. So you are obliged to vote. How we can
Maybe
escape?
reject all the leaders, whoever is listed, if there is an option, so none of above. Then if there is there, we just put that one. Just I was contemplating a couple of years ago, just what if we have Krishna consciousness, we enter into the politics, develop these Kshatriya qualities in the people, and from the background, not in the direct politics, but support from the, but at least if they give education part, so we can train these people Likewise, just contemplating around 6-7 years ago, just still that fire is there. We don't know when it is going to come. At least if we take
Yeah.
to the politics to
In
try.
India, you see the Modi ji, he how much struggling he has to, like it's an Hindu majority country. Still, Modi ji has to struggle. He is doing for the for good for the people, but they don't understand. So how misfortunate we are.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, that is different. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very nice. Yes. And a lot from this. Hare Krishna.
Jai Mataji lifted it.
No, yes, it was just a very small point. I just wanted to say, talking about these leaders and preaching there, Keshav Swami, as you know, heard him, he speaks, he goes to the parliament and he preaches there. When he was in Australia also, he went to their parliament and he spoke there. So, as you can see, some people are trying very hard to educate these leaders, but I don't know how much is getting through to them.
So here, education means it is not simply educating the ministry. They're all contaminated. There will not be any use for them. Educating the children, recruit the children in the education, giving Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, plus a minor. Already Krishna conscious schools are there. From them, we need to prepare the Kshatriyas, and then so encourage them to take part in the politics. That is where our real foundation, though it may be slow process, but in due course of time, we would see the results if those devotees are entering into politics. So we accept only the devotees who are in the following regulative principles and no sinful activities chanting. They only allowed, if at least 10 years in the Krishna consciousness, they can occupy the minister positions. If such kind of things, if we encourage those children since, and then if they enter into the politics and support them, then there may be a chance for revamping all the politics. It's a very long process, but it needs a lot of austerities and finances, like Srila Prabhupada has done. That is the major thing we can do. But I pray that one day someone may do that activity. Okay, so
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
In America, Tulsi Gabbard is only like she is Krishna conscious, and here also they are coming in the manner before voting. So Rishik, he was also, but they are not yet fully Krishna consciousness. At least they have some conception, and they come. So they have belief or faith, we don't know, but at least they are coming. So this is also good sign.
Thank you, Mataji. Pati Mataji. Pati Mataji, hand raise it.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji, I was on mute. Prabhuji, Mataji mentioned about Tulsi Gabbard and also politicians who come to the manor. I think they just come there to get the votes. I don't think they're really Krishna conscious. And Tulsi Gabbard, she might have taken the oath on the Bhagavad Gita, but she probably endorsed the killing of all the people in Iran. So really, how do you justify that if you're following the path of the Bhagavad Gita in an unjust war?
That one here, main thing is, though she is a devotee, but she is under pressure. She is under pressure because those circumstances, because that's why when we have a party which is of the devotees, not any external forces, only the devotees, not mixing with non-devotees. Otherwise, there will be pressure and compromises would happen. Like Krishna consciousness, it would not compromise in the rules and regulations following. Likewise, in the politics as well, we do not include any person with a criminal background, but that's why at least 10 years he must be initiated and following those things, then he can occupy the ministerial positions. Likewise, if he establishes those things, there may be a chance. But there, in the current circumstances, there are forces are there. They do not have any other option. Though they wanted to do good, but outside things, one happens. In the heart, something else.
So therefore, should they be staying on, Prabhuji? Would that be a kind of a clash of belief, conflict, and morality?
There again, the force and what purpose they are doing it. It is also essential thing. But that purpose we do not know. Outside, every person being a responsible person, always telling lies, putting all people in the confusion, entire world, and just telling inappropriate words for that position. Such kind of persons are not eligible even to stand in front of another person, but they are ruling. So we shouldn't be supporting. But when there is no chance, because when we are working under such kind of person, under Duryodhana, so many people, good people are also there. They are impelled to act like that because of the association. Bala niva niyojitaha. Even though they don't like it, just association.
That is a very good comparison, Prabhuji. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other Gayatri Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, it was a wonderful class as always. Very nice topic in this age, especially with all, and we live here in North America, and which is worse with the Trump and everything, all things happening here. Not nice at all. But yes, I wish everybody could get into Krishna consciousness, and there is no way these people will be coming into Krishna consciousness, no matter what. They are already completely gone bad, so it's hard. So yes, Prabhuji, I was just thinking when my in Austria once there was a kid brought a gun into the school or something, and he shot some. Hopefully nobody got hurt, but yes, he did that kind of a thing, or I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but so another, my sister lives in Austria, and she was saying that my sister's son, he's only like 12 at that time, and now he's 13. But he said that people don't have the fear of God, or that the God will protect us, yeah, no matter what. God is there to protect. Because of these two things, people do certain activities, which was so really correct, because they are not teaching the God consciousness in the schools or at home. So the kids are thinking that if they have to be protected, they have to only take up certain action, and they do wrong activities sometimes because they think that there is no God to protect them, or He will come to do something like, yeah, it was very, very real. I thought, yes, it would be nice if everyone in schools, if they taught Bhagavad Gita, so the kids will understand quickly because they are still new. They can absorb the right things in the right stage of their life. That's what I was thinking, Prabhuji. And thank you for such a wonderful class. And Patti Mataji, Jai Mataji, and Sita Sundari Mataji also already gave a lot of reflections, which was really nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, Rajalakshmi Mataji, you were mentioning.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's wonderful session, Prabhuji. As always, you tell us on spot with everything. So, but I joined a bit late. But thank you so much for the divine session, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the nice comments. Pawan Prabhuji, please. Any?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nice class. And yeah, I'm just listening, trying to connect in a real life world. And then, yeah, the few points which you have mentioned about voting, just opened my eyes. I was feeling like, the elections are coming. We should all vote like reform and stuff like that. And, I was thinking like current about current government and everything. But as you mentioned, if we vote, if they do something wrong, we should share that karmic thing as well, just like the way when Ratnakar, when he was doing wrong things, when Narad Muni asks, like, go and ask your wife, children, whether they are going to share your sins. And, I don't know, a little bit connected to that as well. And yeah, everything that we do uh, in the life will have a karmic reflection. So we have to be cautiously choose and cautiously and wisely choose every step. That's what I understand, from that, Prabhuji. So we might think, okay, it's just one thing, but we have to think what that leads to, and if it's good or bad. But and yeah, that it's kind of a little bit eye-opening as well. So thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here the any sinful activity, even the ruler do, if we have voted them, we are going to equally share. So this shared by doer, director, its supporter. Okay. Kattuhu sastuhu anujñatuhu tulyam yat preche tat palam. Everyone equally share. Even the king is doing, all the subjects also take the share of it. Okay.
Mhm.
And then suffer later on. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And yeah, just wanted to share one more experience. Last 4 days, I was at the Rise 2026 event, uh, which was actually initiated by initially Keshav Swami Maharaj, and it's the third successful year. 850 people came, and it was full of devotee association. It's like in a swimming in a golden water. It was so good, and I had opportunity to meet Gauranga Das Prabhuji, and yeah, I had a nice conversation, and he he was kind of given already me some instructions. So and in terms of yeah, I had some questions in terms of choosing guru or spirituality and stuff like that. But he has shared with the sessions a lot of very very good things. I think it will be soon available. The videos, lectures will be available online. It's a 4 day session, and everyone from all over the UK came and met all the devotees, and they were uh, mainly like philosophy sessions by Jayadvaita Maharaji and the president of Manor. Uh, she used to be a photographer for Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, and then she shared a lot of experiences of her with Prabhupada. It was very, very nice to know about Prabhupada's thinking, and he used to be very direct, and he wouldn't hesitate if he want to, straight away tell if something's wrong, and it was very, very good. Prabhuji, I'll share the links once if we get all the sessions uh, links. And yeah, I just wanted to share that experience.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Okay, we shall Gauringi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Always give to very excellent class, and you know every book, every Bhagavatam, Ram Katha, Ramayana, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything, Bhagavad Gita. Prabhuji always explain very nicely all of this book, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna's Katha, everything, Prabhuji, everything is excellent. So we are so happy and fortunate to have your Sangha, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for your blessings. So all your association makes us to speak like that. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, Meena Mataji, please. Any?
Hare Krishna Guruji. Yeah, so excellent class because I only know that Prathi Maharaj only little bit, but now you have explained it with so much like sloka and everything. So like I just to ask questions. So Prithu Maharaj is the son of Vena.
Yes.
So Vena was very like cruel, isn't it?
Yes, but Prith Maharaj, he has appeared by churning the body of Vena by the sages. But he did not
Okay.
born out of Vena, but they have churned. So here the sages, they churned the shoulders of Vena king by a spiritual kind of, some kind of Vedic mantras. And
So
Prith Maharaj and Achi, they have appeared. They did not take a birth from the womb. They have appeared from the body of Vena.
okay. So there's Manvantar avatar of God or something.
It is Sekchavesh avatar.
Satyavasya. Okay. So even though he came as a god, but he still like how he is respecting Brahmana and Vaishnava and all this.
Yes.
Mm.
And he wanted to be devotee of Vishnu again. He is already incarnation of Vishnu.
Mm.
But when the actual Vishnu comes again, he wanted to take the service of lotus feet of Vishnu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, I just missed this bit, but yeah, thank you for clarification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam Prabhu. I joined a bit later, but I heard that all the nice comments, and then we learn about the Prithu Maharaj, how been ruling Rajas when you talk about these things. So, yes, Prabhu, and Jai Mataji's comment, Prati Mataji's comment about that current politics and about how we can do, how we can choose the king or whatever we can do, the leader, but has to be very careful about who do we choose. So, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Mataji, for nice comments. Okay, so thank you so much, dear devotees, for giving very beautiful comments. Mataji.
Just a quick question. Prabhuji, what happens when we vote for someone? For instance, they probably look good on paper and speaking and everything now, but then they change afterwards. But then we wouldn't have known about that. So how does that work? We still have to pay for what we have done, or because at that time, of course, we didn't know.
Yes. So this is the statement by Prith Maharaj. The result of action committed by those leaders is also equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter. Supporter means whoever voted to that person.
But I understand that. But sometimes they look good before, and then something changes, and then they become so. Then we wouldn't know about all that, would we?
Yes, but still, yes.
Mm.
Still, it will be
Still,
shared.
we would have to. Okay, thank you.
And Prabhuji, one final point. If you voted in the past, probably 5, 6 years ago, but you haven't been voting since past 5, 6 years because of what you read in regarding Srila Prabhupada saying, what the leaders of today are like. You put them in power and they're cheats and braggarts. So if you've done that in the past, do you still carry that karma? I suppose you do.
So the past karma, so now once we come to Krishna consciousness and chanting, since that point, there is no karma built up. And then all the past karma, it will be nullified, as Prith Maharaj further says here. Vinidhita Ashesha Manomalaha Puman Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan. In the 31st shloka, he says 31 and 32. Ashesh Janmopajitam Malam Deha Sadjhak Chinoti Anuham Yedati Sati. It will be purified. In the past, if we have done like that, then once we come to Krishna consciousness, it will be nullified in due course of time. Do not worry about those things. But from now, when we are in Krishna consciousness, we vote only to the devotees, not for any other persons. Prabhupada, those statements are given by Prabhupada. Maybe I can share later on tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly hearing. So now, if you're all happy, we shall move on to next Narsimha prayers. Anyone would like to lead Narsimha prayers, please?
Can I read the Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna. Ukram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalantam Sarvatomukam Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamiham. Ukram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalantam Sarvatomukam Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamiham. Ukram Veeram Mahavishnum Jvalantam Sarvatomukam Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamiham. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladalaadaine.
Praladalaadaine.
Hiranyakasipurvaksaha.
Yakashipurvaksaha.
Tilatankanakalaye. Ito narsimha parato narsimha.
Ito
Yeto yeto yami tato narsimha.
Yeto
Bahir narsimha hridaye narsimha. Narasimhamadim sharanam prabhadye. Tavakarakamalavarena Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakasipurtanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Tavakara Kamalavarena Hari Rupa Jaya
Narahari
Jaya
Jagadisha Hare
Jaya
Jagadisha Hare
केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Keshavadrita Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish
Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev.
Jaya
Narasimhadev, Narasimhadev,
Jaya
Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya
Prahlad
Maharaj,
Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada, Jaya
Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya
Jaya
Gurudev,
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 Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura
Jaya
Hari
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 Bol,
Bol,
Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol,
Nitai Gaura
Hari Bol, Jai Gaura.
श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की,
Jaya.
प्रहलाद महाराज की,
Jai.
राधा गोपीनंद की,
Jaya.
लक्ष्मण हनुमान की,
Jaya.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की,
Jaya.
अमोघ प्रभु जी की,
Jaya.
all the devotees in this session की,
Jaya.
हरी
पवन
हरी बोल।
Hari Bol.
पवन प्रभु जी की जय।
Three Hari Bols to Prabhuji.
हरि
Bol.
बोल,
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
योगेश
Bhagavan.
दर्शन प्रभु जी।
Vanchakalpa.
सर्वभूता
Vanchakalparubhyascha.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां
Pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Anantkoti
कोटि
Vaishnava
वैष्णव की जय।
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada ki
प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
Have a good Krishna consciousness. Hari Bol.
जय।
Hari Bol. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow morning, some of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.